That's Countdown.
That is Countdown.
Yeah.
And I don't... Are we...
I was coming in with Countdown too.
I wasn't planning on it being Countdown. I was just kind of...
It just kind of became Countdown.
Felt right, didn't it?
Our periods are syncing up, Tom.
Woo! Woo!
How are you all keeping, folks?
Hope you're well.
Welcome along to the season finale of Series 2 of The Tom and Gerry Show.
I don't like the word finale. It's like...
It's very final, isn't
it? That's it. Oh, no.
Oh, don't worry, we're gonna Walking Dead this shit. We're gonna leave you with like a cliffhanger at the end.
Oh, absolutely.
You just have to wait 6 months to hear what it. Oh, what did he mean by that? Which of these two guys gets the shit kicked out of themselves?
I don't know if I don't know why.
Season closer.
Season closer. Yeah.
Broadcast once again live from Hansfield train station.
It's live as we're recording it.
Yes.
But as you're listening to it, it could be any
it's not live at all.
Hansfield could have been blown up by now.
Hansfield is very much... Hansfield for us is like the Beatles on the roof, you know what I mean? Like, we're just... This is where we come, man. This is where we rock and roll. Do
you know
I like the trains, Tom likes the cows.
Yeah. But you know what? No, I was going to say, like, in years to come, there'll be people just trawling the internet, just trying to find the fabled archives. We're going to put these out on vinyl. We're not even going to put them up on iTunes. We're just going to put them out on vinyl.
We're just going to travel the country performing them as spoken word pieces.
Yeah, I tell you, it's a fucking achievement, though, isn't it? When you think about it, to get some... Well, you see, I suppose it's all about guests. We're kind of that far up our own hole that we wouldn't bring a fucking guest on, like.
I swear to God I don't want any guests, Tom. You mean to say a third voice where I don't talk as much as I want to?
I know, yeah.
Come on now.
And then we'd have to break him in.
I get enough of that during the week.
At least, you know, we'd have to break him in. But that seems to be the way a lot of podcasts goes. And I'll bring on somebody of...
fuck no.
No, I'm not...
If you brought on someone else, would they come in with the countdown riff at the start? Unprompted and unrehearsed? No,
so we'd have to start it 20 fucking times before we get going at all.
We'd have to say, all right, listen, pal, we're going to do the fucking countdown riff at the start of this.
Oh, there'd be hand signals and all fucking sorts. Yeah. No. There'd be no guests on this.
Fuck no. Unless of course,
yeah. Unless of course,
if you're a big name that can bring some value, some marquee value to this thing,
or if somebody does want to pay us and rename it and have all our subjects, we're absolute whores for money.
Absolutely.
If it doesn't matter. There are no specifications, but if there's money, free shit involved, we will do whatever the fuck you want.
And whatever you pay us, rest assured, we would have taken less.
That is without a fucking doubt.
But are you all keeping, Tom? It's the end of another season of the Tom and Gerry Show.
Yeah,
rocking and rolling.
I'm good. I'm feeling refreshed having fucking getting shit out of my system.
It's cleansing, isn't it? It's like those videos online, the YouTube videos of like a guy that's got like a massive boil on his back. Did you ever see that shit?
Oh, fuck. Or those clickbait ones where it's like a vile toad that's infected.
Yeah,
it's like, what this guy does next, you won't believe what comes out of his toe.
And that kind of thing is gross and all that, but the one thing I get from seeing something like that is, can you imagine the relief that guy just gets?
Jesus.
Like, oh, God, that's so
Oh, Jesus, good. Yeah.
I had like this horrible, big, massive spot on my neck or whatever, and like, granted, it was sore, and it was squeezed, and a river of shit came out of it, but like, oh, that's so good. I'm asleep tonight, so I am.
Jackie Chan, I remember reading a story with him. He was tasty at fighting, handy enough when he was young. He was trained by his best friends. It was pure Karate Kid shit, like. He was trained by his best friend's father, who was a sensei. He was fucking 7th-degree black belt. He trained him in his own little dojo out the back, but they got into a fight one day, and they never told. They were frightened to tell him about it because of, misuse of their skills and everything. So he hid his hand because he thought there was a bone sticking out of the back of his fucking hand. For 3 fucking weeks he hid it, like bandaged it up and stuff. I said it was sprained, all the rest, because he could see the bone sticking out of it. And after 3 weeks he finally went, fuck, I have to go to the fucking doctor. Went to the doctor.
What is it?
The doctor found it was one of the guy's teeth that was stuck in the back of his hand.
Come on,
when he pulled the tooth, the hand was gone black and it nearly lost the hand and everything. But he said the release, the shit that came out of his hand for about 3 hours just flowed out of it.
Oh, man.
But he said the release was one of the greatest things ever. So it wasn't actually a bone sticking out of his hand. Well, it was to a degree. It was somebody else's fucking bone from him clattering the bollocks off some lad in downtown fucking Hong Kong. you know. So anyway, sorry, that was fucking completely...
No, that was amazing. It brings us on nicely to our first segment, Tom, because just like that, you know, every now and then you just get all this shit out of yourself.
Out of yourself.
And it's a release, and I gotta tell you, it's a segment we call...
Giving out yards.
Giving out yards. I'll field this one.
Alright.
Tom, you know what I mean? Everything I've given out about this series so far has been like one current theme. It's not just giving out about something that's inherently terrible. It's giving out about something that's inherently good, that people have just taken the good out of it.
Fucking ruined.
Started with something pure.
As my mother would say, you can have nothing.
You can have
nothing these days. They'd fucking ruin it on you.
Honest to God, you had something just pure and lovely, and you know what?
Ruined.
You ruined it.
Yeah.
Through greed and one thing and another.
Yeah.
And the thing I'm going to give out yards about is computer games, Tom.
Computer games, Gerry.
Have you played a computer game lately?
No. I enjoyed them. You see, I have an addiction problem.
Right.
With things. If I can't help but lock onto a thing, Gerry, and if I owned a pub, I'd be dead in a week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I liked computer games when I played, we had an old Commodore 64.
Right, okay,
with this old fucking yoke that I think it was an Atari, you clipped these big fucking cassette yokes into the back of the fucking keyboard and everything, but you'd have to blow the dust out of them first.
Yeah.
But, yeah...
that was as far as it went?
Oh, well, no, it didn't. Myself and my brother used to play on a Saturday evening because we were working in the buildings, but we'd play for fucking 3 hours after we'd get finished up, before we'd all head out in the beer. But I swear to God, there was nights where we didn't make it because we used to play, I can't remember what, it was something on the 64. And for a finish, I was glad the thing fucking broke because it was just a fucking... I just lock on to these, especially shooting games.
I'll be the same myself. You see, this is computer games, like when we grew up, it was a very simple thing. And like I say, you blow the dust out of a cartridge, you clunk it down into the top of a machine, you switched it on, and it played.
Wasn't that some going at the time, because now, that's
over and done with. What you have today...
How does it work now? Do you still buy an old disc?
You can buy a disc or you can download it, whichever you want, okay? But it used to be, you bought a new game, you ran home giddy because God knows with the price of them, you got one every year at best.
Yeah.
You ran home, you put it in, you flicked through the little manual, and you played the thing.
Yeah.
You were off, you were gone.
All right. Is that not the same?
That's not the case. What happens these days is you buy a game, you take it home, you install it on your machine. You put the disc in the machine, and it needs to install onto the thing because they've gotten so big and so complex and so detailed that they can't just run off the disc anymore.
Yeah,
it has to be loaded into the machine first so it can run off that. See what I'm saying? And to load it from the disc onto the machine, Tom.
Hold on, this is every fucking game.
This is pretty much them all, yeah.
So what if you were sick to fuck? Is first time out though?
First time out, yeah. Not the first time you buy it, you got to install it.
Heaven forbid you be in a hurry.
Well, this is it, Tom, because it takes up to a full hour to install it onto your machine. All right? Now.
Right.
That's okay. That's an annoyance. All right?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to play, I'm ready to play, and God knows, Tom, between the two of us, leisure time is scarce.
Yeah.
For the time you get, right, okay, I have an hour free.
Yeah.
All right? So now we've waited. The second it installs onto your machine, you then have to download updates for it.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. This fucking phone of mine is the very fucking same. It's telling me it's fucking full, but it keeps on wanting to update you. How the fuck can you update a fucking thing every 2 fucking minutes? Is this just keeping constant jobs, is it?
This is exactly what it is. The game that they sold you in the fucking shop, Tom, doesn't work.
Jesus Christ.
They were that busy trying to get money and get it out into the shop that they didn't even bother to finish it. They just said, you know what, stamp it, ship it out to shops, we'll work on it for another fortnight. So by the time it goes on sale, we'll have what's called a patch.
So I know you want to buy this car, right? But there's no bonnet on it. But look, go on, take it away home.
Take it away home with you, we'll send the bonnet home.
And you'll send the bonnet on, but look, the tyres they'll only good enough to get you home.
Yeah, and we'll send you updates.
You'll have to fucking get the tyres yourself.
Yeah.
And sit there fucking... The car's going fucking nowhere.
Until you...
But you do own a car.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
But fuck all used to you.
You wanted a car, we sold you a car.
Yeah.
A transaction was made.
And
it's just fuck all used to you.
And granted, look, you think you'll get going for a while, but I tell you now, there'll be a fucking time you'll have to get new windows.
Yeah.
because
This is what it is to play a computer game these days. Okay, so
for
all right,
fuck's
we
sake.
download updates, all right? So that might take another half an hour, depending on your connection. If you have an internet connection, if you're in the country, I think you're just kind of screwed.
What?
Yeah. I'm honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I brought my PlayStation home to Carrick and plugged it into the Alpert telly.
Does it have to be to the internet?
I think
now?
it does. Yeah, I'm fairly certain. If it doesn't, then I don't know what. You're just playing like a half a game or whatever. Anyway, you download your updates. That might take another 10-15 minutes, and they have to kind of install themselves and such.
Right.
And honestly, Tom, I've done this where I've downloaded a game off the internet.
Aye.
Rather than buy it on a disc, downloaded it off the internet. You download it, and the minute you turn it on, it says, updates are available. Why wasn't that part of what I fucking downloaded 2 seconds ago?
For fuck's sake.
Alright, so now we're like an hour and a half in. We haven't shot one hurl, we haven't kicked one ball, we haven't jumped on one block. We've done nothing.
What the
So you
fuck?
install a new update, and finally you get your opening screen.
Right.
Now you have to sign in.
See, the fuckers, Big Brother is watching you every which way. Isn't he,
Every
like?
which way you move.
Why can't, Jesus Christ, why can't you just fucking play the thing like what, you know?
You have to go through a menu, and now you can skip it, but it's in your best interest if you do sign in.
Why would they keep on asking you to fucking sign in at every
They'll keep
hand?
asking you to sign in all the goddamn time. It'll offer you this.
Do you
It'll offer you
remember
that.
there was the one thing there was a kind of controversial about it, like if you were playing Mortal Kombat for an extended period of time, to break it up, they used to have a fella pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
And that was annoying people, because that was the thing. It was like, hey, this isn't part of my fucking game.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
So I can only imagine, because I haven't played games in a long fucking time, and I know I told you why. I fucking freak out with the fucking things, like.
It's gotten to the point. Right, so you got to sign in. You got to create a profile. Yeah. Okay, hello, my name's Gerry McBride. Oh, type in name, username Gerry McBride, email address, blah blah blah. Submit. Okay, that username is taken. All right, fuck. Gerry McBride 1. That name is taken. Oh, fuck. One Gerry McBride 1.
Is this for every fucking game?
This is pretty much for every game, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You know, there are games that you don't have to do it, but like by and large, all the big ones you got to do.
Gerry McBride's fucking machine. Isn't that good enough, no?
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay, an email has been sent to you, register, or one thing and another, so it's another 10-15 minutes. So you're like 2 hours in, and you haven't played a lick of your game whatsoever.
This is just fucking making jobs for people. That's all that is. Like, that's just making jobs for fellas to go, McBride is back playing fucking Hearts of fucking War again. Right.
Yeah.
Let's tee up. Let's start fucking seeing, can we send him some fucking shitty mails about things that relate to fucking Hearts of War. See, these cunts are watching you that's why they want you to sign up when you're buying fucking multivitamins down in fucking Holland Barrett. They want to know every fucking move you're making, like.
Oh, Tom, come here to me. You get in and you finally sit down and relax and say, finally I can play a computer game. That's all I wanted to do, was play a computer game for half an hour and relax. And you play for half an hour and relax and the thing crashes. Because again,
Of course it did. Of course it did. Because it's not just playing straight off a hard old disc. It's playing off a shite that you had to download. Fucking stuff from a fucking virtual stuff.
And they haven't finished it. They've made the game up to a point, and then when is the difference between making it in the factory, in the offices,
Yeah.
in the studio, shall we call it? But when it goes out to millions and millions of people, all of a sudden you do something that they didn't intend you to do. You run into a tree at a certain speed, and the computer goes, "Oh, what's going on here now?"
I was wondering what that meant. There's a lad I went to school with. Now, in fairness, he was a nice lad. He was a bit on the geeky side. But in fairness to him, he's over, I think he's in America or Canada or something, but he's developing a lot of these fucking Rainbow, SEAL teams, a lot of these games. And he'd put up a post, and all his posts are just purely how awesome this shit. And I don't understand at least 6 words in every fucking sentence he writes. But he's a nice chap. But he keeps on going, the updated version. And And I was going, is that just number 2 of the game?
No. That's the game.
No, it would seem it's actually just, it's great to fucking finally get it out, because he's creating these fucking games. So that's obviously what it...
That's what it is. You got to
Have you seen these lads in Asian chaps that are going through serious fucking... There's in Japan, and Korea now, it's actually a serious problem. Kids' addiction to fucking gaming online, like.
I would love to be addicted to computer games. I would love to have a game that I could play.
Yeah, no. I hate that. I fucking hate shit that doesn't work.
That just doesn't work. Because time for me is scarce, Tom. You work, you do your writing, you do your comedy.
Yeah.
You got kids, you gotta go do the shopping, you gotta do your household chores. So it's very, very rare that I get an hour to myself at night to sit down with no distractions. The missus has gone to bed. I'm just gonna play this game for an hour, and you turn it on and you spend 3/4 of an
Jesus
hour
Christ.
updating the fucking thing.
Well, feel free.
Oh, by the way, Tom, that's if your PlayStation is ready to play the game, because the PlayStation itself also requires updates. So you could have a game that, by some miracle, you can play.
And there's nothing you can do about this.
You can sit there and watch a little progress bar on the screen go up to 100%, and when it's ready, then maybe you might get 10 minutes at the end of the night to sit down and like play one round of FIFA or whatever.
Do you know what? You'd be as well to just stand in the fucking backyard fucking hitting one of, you know, those swing ball fucking things. Just sit there, or just stand there just hitting it, staring off into the abyss, because at least you could... thing won't... You can replace the string.
Honestly, Tom, it's the greatest advertisement for not playing computer games of all times. People always said, like, oh, kids playing violent games, kids playing this.
It's not like you live in an area that wouldn't have a decent
I got good internet.
Jesus.
People are always worried about violent video games making you violent.
I'm kind of fucking glad to hear that now, because I've often thought... Because you see lads posting about it the whole time. And lads are making fucking money from recording.
Oh, yeah. It's big business.
That's something so I'm completely out of the loop. I don't fucking know anything about it. Like, but lads are actually fucking watching other lads playing. Do you think that's down to lads having shit systems just going, you know what?
I can't play it myself.
So I'll watch it on YouTube. I'll watch some cunt playing it in America on YouTube.
And again, Tom, this was a thing. This is what I'm giving about. This was a thing that was beautiful and pure and worked. By and large, it worked. You sat down and you played your game and you had fun.
And if it didn't, sure, you could fucking blow on it.
And if it didn't, you took it out, you blew on it and put it back in.
Give the disc a rub.
Give the disc a rub and you're away on a hack. But they've just overly complicated it to the point where it just doesn't work. And it's all just through, oh, we have to be better than the last one. We have to do this, we have to do that, we have to do the other. It has to be this, it has to be that. No, it has to work. And I have to look forward to sitting down playing it.
You have to kind of look at, you see, I know a handful of fellas that do this is their full-time job, and they're making them fucking yokes. Most of them are in America now at this stage. And if you met these lads, you'd kind of see why your situation is what it is. Because these lads, to say that they haven't the hand to wipe their arse, it would be fucking insulting fucking arses and hands. Like, lovely lads, but utterly they can do fucking useless.
They can do one thing very well.
Fucking useless.
Oh, man.
Fucking, like, one lad, I remember he was telling me, he went to actually Gamers College. It was actually a college to go to for this fucking carry on. Which sounds great.
Yeah, it's teach you how to make a thing that doesn't fucking work.
Which is grand, but there isn't much of a social scene.
Yeah, I can imagine.
In fact, it's fairly zero. He says, to be fair, like, he was describing it to me, he says, I was the cool guy. And he wasn't a cool guy. He said they all paid, a gang of them one evening, they went out in whatchamacallit, in whatever city it was in, and they paid this fella to teach him how to pull women.
Oh, this shit?
Yeah. This fucking obnoxious looking piece of fucking scour took now fair play to me, took 200 quid a fucking head for a 6-hour seminar.
You couldn't call him stupid.
And basically objectifying fucking women, like in the most. Your man was saying they totally bought into it because they'd spent $200, and so they'd heard he was the shit. But the words, the phraseology he was using, you were going, there is no woman on the planet that would listen to that shit. And the very first, he took him straight to a bar after this whole seminar and all the rest of it. And of course, this is par for the fucking course. Every Saturday he's heading into the same fucking bar. And your man, he goes, right, use everything I told you now, he says to the chap that I know.
Just go for it.
Go for it. So up to these two fucking women, and it was like, how are the bitches? Or something fucking horrific that, you know? And the two of them, in fairness, just turned to win. Oh, you have to pay for that course, I see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that crushed him.
Oh, my God.
But the same fella, he said it himself, he could barely fucking know how to fucking turn a tap.
Yeah.
And
he's creating these $100 million computer games that don't fucking work.
A girl worked. She was an accountant, worked for a buddy of mine's wife. She had a team of accountants in some big firm, and they actually had to let her go based on computer games. She was an Italian girl. She was smelling so bad. She was fully addicted. This one, to the point that if you sat on her office chair, you'd notice her. If you put 20 chairs, you'd know which chair was hers.
Jesus Christ!
She was actually forgetting to wash. She wasn't showing up for work. She was living her every day. It was like that film fucking Surrogates.
Yeah.
Basically, she was living in Second Life or something they call it.
Oh yeah, another one.
She had a marriage, she had a really successful business, she was quite rich in Second World, But like her apartment, because it was being rented for the company,
It was a dump.
they just found boxes and boxes of pizzas
Christ.
everywhere. It's just horrific.
I'll be honest with you, Tom.
Do you know what, Gerry? Do
I
yourself
wish
a favour.
I had our trouble. I wish I could sit down and play a computer. You should find a computer game that worked. Oh, it's ruined. It used to be a thing. They always used to say, Tom, about violent computer games would make people violent. No, computer games not fucking working.
Yeah.
Is what's going to drive me to kill.
Jesus, that would. Yeah, I can see how that affects
Oh,
you.
take it away from me, Tom.
All right, I will.
What
I'll
you got?
cheer you up.
Please do.
Yeah, because all right. Well, no, I mean, I think most people who know anything about computer games, if that's the fucking crack.
I just get so fucking angry all the time, Tom.
Oh Jesus! But yeah, no, I mean, I like that. I mean, whether people this is your first time listening to it and all the rest, myself and Gerry, we are.
You know what Stanley always used to say? Every comic is some kid's first comic.
Yeah,
So every podcast is somebody's first podcast.
that sounds. Yeah,
It's pretty deep, man.
it is pretty deep actually. Yeah, I didn't think of it that way, but we do have we've gigs everywhere. We have
Yeah.
gigs everywhere.
This is the reason I say that is like people might not know, if this is the first time you're listening to this, you might not know that we're stand-up comedians.
But we do a section every week because
Of
the
some
one
repute.
that everybody wants to hear. Nobody wants to hear about the fun stuff because who remembers who
Who
likes?
cares?
Yeah, nobody wants to hear. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Oh, Tom and Jerry had
Nobody
another
ever
great
gets
gig.
nobody ever gets on the stage and like the amount of people I've heard when I've you have a good situation. Like I do this thing every so often where I've talked. I don't know if I talked about it before, where I teach people how to drive supercars.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bizarre thing that nearly gets me killed 20 times in a fucking day, but it's kind of one of those experiences things, you buy it for people and all the rest. And the amount of people have, like the boss has gone, ha, sure, you must have great material for stage. No, you don't.
You don't, no.
There is not one audience member in the world, whether they know it or not, wants to listen to this prick go down stage and go, what's the deal with your Ferrari breaking down? Like, it's probably one of the most unrelatable fucking things, like. But anyway, regardless of that, we do a bit every week that we like to call Worst Gig Ever. And this is kind of a series of gigs, Gerry. I mean, we've talked.
This isn't just one gig?
No, we talked. There's a thing every year. Whether you know anything about stand-up comedy or not, the world's stage of festivals. There's always festivals around the world and all the rest, but the biggest one in the world is in Edinburgh, Scotland.
The Edinburgh Fringe Festival, Tom.
Yeah. And it's. I mean, look.
I personally have never, full disclosure, I've never done the Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for starting out. Here's the two things. There's two ways of going about the festival. There's you can pay money as a performer. You can pay money, and there are a series of venues. There are a series of venues that they will promote you.
Okay.
They'll put you in this, that, and the other. They'll have people employed to give out flyers for your show. Getting a lot of time. Now, it's not cheap. It'll cost you a few G's, but you may make it back in ticket sales. But the experience, the exposure is quite good because it's the world stage. Now, there's also the free fringe.
Okay.
They call it the free fringe. It's not entirely free because there's also organisations too that will fucking accept, because you can't just wander in and start doing fucking gigs in somebody's fucking living room. They will give it to fucking these two organisations typically. There's typically two or three. And you'll sign up, probably 300 quid. They'll allot you a venue, or they'll give you. Now, I've never been lucky with getting when I did the free fringe.
So you can't tell you can't say, okay, I want that venue over
you
there.
can, but unless you're fucking friends with the guy who's actually at the top,
you're unlikely to get
you're unlikely to get it. So you get offered like fucking a wheelie bin out in Fife. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
So
it depends on what your status is. You kind of take what you're given,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
maybe you might if you're a wee bit higher up.
Well, it's higher up is a different thing because guys I know for a fact that wouldn't gig fucking 3 times in a year here, they're getting quality gigs over there because they're just in with the guy. They're in with a guy. Well, I did it a couple of years and it was good fun. It's good for your fucking experience, you know.
It's like a comedy Gaeltacht.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You go over for the month.
You're gigging for an entire month every single day, and then there's compilation shows where you're doing 10 minutes, which is basically you hand flyers out after the show if they like the 10
So
minutes.
as it can add for your own show.
Exactly.
It sounds like great fun, Tom.
It's all right, Gerry.
What
it's
could you
not
possibly
bad.
give out about
It's
it?
not bad, but there are rough fucking ones.
Oh, no.
And you see, the last time I went, I said I'm doing a 10-day stint because you don't have to do the full 27 days or 24 days or whatever it is. You don't have to do the full.
That'd be a lot. That would be a lot for a man in my position to say to the wife,
I'm off for 10 days.
I'm off for a month.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And
She go, where are we going on holidays this year? And I'd be like, well, I know where I'm going.
Yeah, it's a tough one too financially because you go. She'd say, "Oh right, well, does it worth big money to you?" And you're like, not really."
In actual fact, I'm going to be paying out money.
Yeah, I might actually lose. Like if you play it very crafty on how your accommodation works out, because of course it's like the new pants tax in The Simpsons the time they were making the movie. And
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, we got, like, the day skyrocket. Like, for the 10 days I was there, the woman... No, I got it on Gumtree rather than going through anything. And she, in fairness, she was very fair in what she charged. But it was probably 2 months' rent for the apartment. And she was off to Iceland to take photographs for my 10 days because she was like, this is fucking worth it. So, but regardless, the venue I took, it was a great venue. It's a great venue, renowned. It's called the Pear Tree.
Okay.
Biggest...
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Which is saying a lot, because I've heard of
biggest beer garden in Edinburgh. So there's always going to be a fucking plethora of people that you can flyer and entice to your show. They've 5 or 6 venues of varying sizes inside in this venue. I took the attic. It was a 30-seater, grand 30, ramming, sitting on the floor and everything, 50 people in. I took that.
Okay, that sounds good.
Sounds fine, Gerry. I took it at 12:30 at night.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Your options are limited when you're getting offered a fucking flower box out in fucking 20 miles outside the city.
And, like, here's the thing, Tom, okay, I'm going to just say it now, because I do hear about people saying, oh, my show's at midnight, or my show, worse again to me, my show's at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah. No, you couldn't do that. I've done compilation shows. At least at 12:30 at night, you will get people coming off duty, fucking, from bars and stuff like that.
The thing to explain to people is, you're not just playing to the ordinary people of Edinburgh.
No.
For the month. People...
The city never sleeps, really, for that month. It really doesn't. So,
and tourists and such, like, swarm in with the intention of seeing shows left and right.
Oh, yeah. You'll get people who just come and they're just straight out the door afterwards. And the idea of the free fringe is that you perform, but you ask for a donation afterwards based on how good, bad, or indifferent, there are miserable fucks who'll put nothing in the
If you enjoyed the show, please leave a donation in the bucket on your way out.
Now, for the 10 days, I wasn't overly optimistic. The venue seemed nice and all the rest of it. But... you know what? At least, even at that stage, I was like, I know fucking shit when I see shit.
Yeah.
There's no door.
Okay.
There's no door on it. It's a curtain.
Fair enough.
There's also a venue straight across the way from me. There's a curtain. Opening night. Full house. Delighted with myself. When the mofos across the fucking way, who are basically the most middle-class gang of lads you've ever seen, who are basically going to spend the entire month doing sketch comedy through the medium of ukuleles.
Fuck.
6 of them. I
can't stand one ukulele is a lot of ukuleles, Tom.
6 of these fuckos, and every one of them are either called Toby, Rupert, Tarquin, or oddly, a very middle-class name it would seem is Tom. I'm...
Yeah, but there's Tom and there's Tom.
Oh yeah, hey, it's again, I'm Tom. Or there's Tom.
Do you know what I can't abide? Tom spelt with a H.
Oh, fuck yourself.
So that
like, yeah, no.
Tom, Thom, like Tom York from Radiohead.
No, listen, I'm Tom because my full name is my initials.
Yeah, Tom.
That's it. Yeah, they made it just simple. They weren't fucking around. It was just, But opening night, it was fun. Got the fucking crowd to fucking shout across the way. But then it started to go a bit small, a bit fucking pear-shaped as the fucking week went on. First heat wave in Scotland in about 75 years. I'm in the attic, no windows.
Oh my god,
it's been baking all fucking day.
Right.
Now you get agitated drunk people coming in.
Agitated
I've
hot
got
drunk
these
people.
fuckos across the way with fucking ukuleles playing sketch fucking comedy to like 3 fucking people because they didn't bother their whole flying all fucking day. Fuck me. Then it fucking people start getting agitated. Second night, get a bottle thrown.
At you?
At me. A biker gang decided to come in. Why not? A fucking biker gang.
Like
decided.
fucking Sam Crow?
Yeah, essentially. But way fucking less nice. Oh, fuck me. The fucking...
And, like, you got a bottle thrown at you?
Yeah, but your man was like, I'm just joking.
But it was thrown with intent.
But you see, you can't... Oh, well...
It wasn't like, here, catch a bottle.
No, he threw it so it would bust. But he was kind of going, this guy will dodge it. Do you know, it was always like...
basing that on?
It was like, well, I guess he, like dodgeball, rip torn. If you can dodge if you can
wrench. Dodge a bottle, then you can probably tell a joke.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, it was just fucking...
And like, I've never had shit... well, I have had things thrown at me on stage, but I've never had a bottle thrown.
Oh, this was... Well, you see, the thing was, if you saw the environment we were in, people were quite literally... One guy just decided, I'm togging off right down to the waist. Naked.
In the middle of your gig?
Yeah.
While you're doing it? What joke were you on when he did that?
I think I was talking about fucking Scottish people and being rough as fuck.
And he was just like...
He was a school principal. I swear to God, he was a school principal, the same guy. It was a fucking... You see, the thing was, it must have been 35 degrees in this room. So, and people were boozing, and they were figuring they don't understand that I was at Last Chance Saloon to take this fucking gig. They thought I chose a 12:30 show because I was rough as fuck myself.
So, like, when you signed up for it, you were like, I'll only do this festival if you give me a rough venue in the middle of the night.
Exactly. They have no idea that, like, 50,000 people are wanting to do this fucking venue, or do this fucking festival. No idea. The fucking week transpired. Oh, it was just... Your fucking soul would just fucking fall out of your hole. Following night, not one fucker shows up.
None. You see, that would kill me.
Yeah.
That would crush me.
None show up.
I would know. I would cry.
Following night, my sister and her husband arrived over. They came.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody showed up. Fuck. I tell a lie. A fellow comedian and his missus showed up.
So you got 4.
I got 4.
It's like our Lord. Wherever 2 or more of you are gathered in my name... We've got a mass going on.
And what made it sadder was, like, my sister left change in the bucket. You know what I mean?
Tom, come on, no.
But my week perked up. My week perked up as the following night. It got fucking better. It got better, and it got better again. Crowds-wise, it got fucking better again. But at no point did anything get better. It was still roasting your fucking bollocks off.
Right.
Then there was a fucking crew on before me of Panto Queens.
Of course there was.
Yeah. In a fucking room that holds 40. All these fellas are over 6 foot in heels, and they're taking forever to get the fuck out of the room so I can go in and at least put on my fucking...
Because there is a system, you don't go over time.
Oh, you don't go over time?
I've seen that. I've seen, like, somebody, the venue manager or whatever, will come in and, like, red card you or
there was no venue manager at fucking 12:30, Gerry.
Well, maybe nice.
There was no venue.
Here's the thing with the time of it, Tom, okay? So it's 12:30.
Yeah.
And we stress. At night. That's a long time to stay sober before doing your gig. Or did you?
To be honest with you, by midweek, I was struggling.
Yeah.
But I fucking did, because you're just kind of going, fuck this, everybody. Because you see, you either go drinking by yourself because everybody else is off doing gigs and stuff like that. So I tried to do as many compilation shows as I could. But realistically, you do a compilation show at 8 o'clock even. Nobody's going, oh great.
I must catch the rest of that.
I'll catch that guy's show at 12:30 tonight.
During the witching hour.
It happened a few times. I met people that were absolute fucking charmers. At 8 o'clock. You meet them at 12:30.
After 4 more hours.
Fucko!
This is the fucking... This is the guy I was telling you about.
That's the shit. And they have no control. And this place allowed you to bring in... You could buy a full bottle of wine downstairs at the bar and bring it up. You do not want to see fucking a gang of women with each of their own bottle of wine at 12:30 at night. Because people naturally want to fucking... They want to stock up.
Yeah.
They want to stock up.
So who wants to go back downstairs?
Oh, Jesus Christ. It was fucking criminal. It was criminal. And my week was fucking topped off. You know, all it would have taken was one little fucking thing. One little, hey, fucking class. Because no reviewers are coming to your show at 12:30 at night. They're not going to come. So you're never going to get a good fucking review, bad review or anything like that. But I ploughed on with the gigs. And at the very last gig, this guy who came... He seemed all right with the thing. He seemed to enjoy the whole thing. I went, here we go. This guy, right after the show ended, everybody fucked off, left a few quid in the pot. This guy waited for me afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I'll be with you in a minute. He says, okay, I'll wait for you downstairs.
All right, okay.
At the door. I thought, cool.
This doesn't end with you in the fucking boot of a car,
no,
does it?
I just had a good feeling. I had a fucking good feeling. He was like, cool, great, fucking, yeah, great.
Good show.
Great.
Chat to me after.
Get downstairs, packed up my shit, walking out. The show seemed all right. I was glad to be fucking going home the fucking next day.
Okay.
But I wanted to hear what this guy... Was he going to be a UK agent? Was he maybe going to be a booker?
Could this be the start of it?
Because you know what? You hear these stories. Fucking somebody sees you and guy, that kid's got something. Because he fucking had a... He
could have discovered you, Tom.
He had a good fucking look about him, like he was going to be that guy. But as I got downstairs, he even had a fucking contract out and everything.
No
I
shit.
swear to God, he had a contract, the whole lot.
Oh.
He says, look at it. He says, I just want you to know, enjoy the show. And could you sign this for me? Oh, what? I thought this was a weird way of getting me into the... Hey, are you serious? Is this your way of going? Do you want to join our firm?
What was it?
It wasn't. He was actually going to break the Guinness World Record of gigs gone to in a month, and he needed to sign it off. And
I wouldn't have signed it, Tom.
I didn't fucking sign it, Gerry. I told him to go fuck himself.
Go fuck yourself.
I actually told him to go fuck himself. He left an awful review on my page after that.
Fuck him.
Yeah. I says, man, just sign that fucking thing yourself. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah.
It was... Do you know what? There was no humour in that week. It was just fucking bleak. By the end of it, you're like, what did I just come away with?
You know what, Tom? I've been searching for the word and bleak just about.
Yeah, it was fucking bleak, like. It was bleak because it wasn't like... Because when you're... like, if it was a shit venue, but it was at fucking 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening, you could at least go for a drink.
I've been to Edinburgh.
You can go for a jar with your mates afterwards, and you can all go why it was bad or different and laugh about it. But this wasn't. I had to stay sober all fucking day for the show, and you come out and shit is closing.
I've been to Edinburgh 1 year.
Yeah.
During the festival, I went over for 1 day, landed Ryanair flight, I landed at 6 o'clock in the morning, and fucked off the next day at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just wandered around the city. I did a compilation show with somebody.
Yeah.
Just to say that I've done a show in it.
Yeah.
And I done one other gig with another guy later on today. Just did a half an hour. That was it. That's the some amount of my experience. Wandering around the city, it is a peculiar hell of performers. A performer is a great thing. Performers, thousands of them.
And everybody vying for attention.
Everybody vying for attention and handing you flyers and there's this like pole in the middle of the Royal Mile, which is like the main street of what we would do.
Yeah.
And everybody's got their poster stuck to it. And it's like we all fucking died in 9/11, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly it. But I swear to God, you go over there and you're kind of going, not because you can't, after a while you're kind of going, should I be involved in this industry? I can tell jokes and make people laugh. But if this is the fucking industry where it's full of fucking just...
A guy upside down in a bucket.
Guys like
a troop of people performing Hamlet in the fucking corner of the street.
The amount of these fuckers who take off their trousers and lie down on the ground with their hands up going, take a flyer, please take a flyer, come to our show. They're trying to come up with whatever, and you're like, really?
Really?
Really? Because I've gone to these shows. I went to a fucking show to see a midget. I thought it was going to be the greatest thing ever. I think I told you about it, didn't I?
Was it any good?
No, it was fucking terrible. He told no midget jokes. He just gave out about how he didn't like the Catholic Church. He sold it to me on the back of him being a midget.
And duped you with some Catholic jokes.
He told me it was going to be all... He goes, man, it's going to be all about me and the fucking funniness of my height and all the rest. Because he was what's known as a primordial midget.
What's that?
Is that he doesn't have the big old head. He actually just looks like a shrunken human.
Okay.
All his proportions are right and all the rest of it. Well, not right, but you know what I mean? It's basically, he hasn't grown anything since he was 5.
All right.
Do you know what I mean? So you're kind of... And that's what he was selling me the story on. Had he not said that, hey man, you want to come to my show? It's a really in-depth look.
So this wasn't a thing that you assumed?
No.
He had sold it to you?
He sold it to me, and there was a bloke sitting beside me going, too, when's the midget shit coming up? I swear to God. I swear to God. He sold it to me. He called himself a midget too. But there's a point in a thing like Edinburgh where you're going, Jesus fucking Christ.
Get me the hell out of this
These
town.
fuckers have... It's just basically a gang of fuckos who figure we're all fuckos together. I've no interest in knowing fuckos.
In Edinburgh, I've seen people that I've known for years.
Yeah.
On that day that I went over, I've seen people that I've known for years that I've never not seen them with a smile on their face. They're just absolutely delighted, bubbly, warm human beings. And you see them over in Edinburgh and they're just ashen. Because
it does not, unless you're willing to pay for a venue and actually get yourself fucking above, especially the free fringe stuff, it doesn't make a blind bit of difference if you're good, bad, or indifferent.
No.
So the fact that you might possess the ability to actually tell jokes and be funny
is neither here nor there.
It's almost frowned upon. I swear to God, it is almost frowned upon, like, because there's a fucking element of, hey, you're not in our gang because we're all shit together.
Yeah, I mean,
we're uncool enough to be cool. You know,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I get what you mean. Yeah.
So you don't fit in. If your sole mission is to go over there with a solid show and you're doing the free fringe,
forget about it.
It's a roll of the fucking dice because you may or may not fucking land. Like, there's a highly like the amount of fuckbox comedians. And there are, because, and I don't mind anybody who's...
Not everybody's good like us, Tom.
But I don't mind anybody who's not particularly good and all the rest, but if you have a fucking attitude up on you...
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, like, if you have where the fuck did the attitude come from?
Where did that come out of?
You know, so it was a series of fucking unfortunate events, basically topped off by a guy who I won't say I thought he was trying to sign me up, but I certainly didn't think it was something...
that you were going to... no.
He was trying to fuck, and you're like, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
That's not a worst gig ever, Tom. That's just like a worst experience.
Yeah, it would nearly... Yeah.
I'm never going to Scotland again in my life.
No.
Scotland. You can keep it.
Yeah, fuck off Scotland.
Fuck off Scotland. And if you go, while I have you listening, if you're going to Edinburgh this year, just unfriend me on Facebook because I don't want to hear about your shit every fucking 2 minutes.
Well, there is nothing to tell. I can tell you that I've done it years where I've had good shows. There is nothing to unless something extraordinary funny happens. Like one show, I remember the one thing I put up about that year was that one show in the middle of the week, a bunch of the audience did wait for me outside. Kind of thought I was about to get a shit kicking, but in fairness, they were all kind of like, good job. But I think it was more so they'd nowhere else to go.
Well, that'd be a lot of it.
Yeah, that was a lot of it. And I think I put a picture up of it because I thought, this is funny because I thought I was going to get the shit kicked out. But in actual fact, they were just being sound. That's all. There's nothing to tell. You just had another gig. And 99.9% of the people that come to your gig, they won't remember you.
They don't care.
Because a lot of them are visiting people to Edinburgh from America, Europe, fucking Asia.
But there's the joy of your art, Tom. There's the joy of performing.
Yeah, sure there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the joy of performing where, you're also turning a coin.
Yeah.
And you're not actually spending money every minute you're standing there.
Yeah. I mean, look, like I said,
Get rid of
crafty
it.
fucker can make money, but it's fuck it.
Get rid of it.
That's it, done. We'll cheer things up, Gerry. We'll cheer things up. You're going to cheer things up for me. I know you are.
No, I'm not. Fucking
Come on.
I'm done.
No, we have to do one more. We have to do one more section.
Oh, we got
show.
another
You're
segment.
going to actually cheer me up now.
We got another segment.
Or are you going to fucking annoy the shit out of me
We
now?
might do that as well. Yeah. This is
New section.
This was our gift to season 2.
Yeah.
Was a new section, whereby me and Tom, who are known to be grouchy little fuckers, talk about things that in actual fact we actually love. And you know what? It's not shooting and hunting and pornography. It's things that you wouldn't think we'd like, and that's why we call this segment. You wouldn't think we'd like that. Holy shit! I'll feel this one here.
What have you got?
Pornography. I love it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
No, because that's not a thing that you wouldn't think I'd like.
You have it written all over you.
I got it written all over me.
Yeah.
Porn fiend, this guy. Here's the thing. An implement, which I'm all about.
Okay.
And I bought it for my wife for the kitchen.
Jesus.
To aid her in the kitchen. It's
Wow.
called
We're
kitchen aid mixer.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Oh, you thought I was heading somewhere else with
No, but to be honest with you, as you were starting that sentence, you're like, wow, if there is any female listeners,
I'll be like, holy shit. It's kitchen aid mixer.
All right.
Do you know them?
Are they the yolks? They're like a PTO shaft. Basically, you can clip on a bunch of shite, Tom.
You see, Tom, this is why you and me fucking get along. This is why I was like, how am I going to explain this to Tom? And the words I was going to use was it's like a PTO shaft.
Yeah, you can clip.
It's exactly what it is.
PTO shaft is the power takeoff.
The power takeoff shaft
on
at
the
back of a tractor.
And basically, it's the yoke that drives muck spreaders, silage harvesters,
balers.
Anything you can clip onto the back that needs a moving part. That's the thing you plug it into.
This is what it is. A KitchenAid mixer, gang, is.
I don't. Is that the brand name on it?
Yeah, the brand name is KitchenAid. You can get a dozen stand mixers, which is basically your mum might have had one, which is basically a bowl.
Yeah, she this Kenwood fucking thing.
Exactly, and a big whisk goes down into.
The grandfather replaced the brushes in it for about 20 years.
That's it. Yeah.
Fucking good joke.
That's the kind of thing.
It's essentially a concrete mixer.
For all intents and purposes.
Upright concrete mixer.
An upright concrete mixer, and I got one for the missus. She had one now for years, and then it sort of wore itself out. And there was talk of repairing it, but like she had her eye on this nice kitchen. They're not a cheap thing now, so they're not. I put aside money for the year. I did like every gig I did. I kind of put aside a wee bit of money.
Oh right, you didn't buy it on HP like you
No. That's the way I kind of
sell.
sell.
With a round baler like.
This is how I sell being a comedian in a relationship or being married. It's like every time you go and do a gig, at the end of the year at Christmas time or something, if you buy her something really really nice, you just say that I paid for that with gig money. And all of a sudden, like, when you turn around of a Friday evening and say, well, I'm going to go do 20 minutes in Moat.
You're hoping that little seed will stay in her head till the following December.
Yeah, exactly.
She'll go, all right, well, I won't have a fucking whinge about this. But to be honest with you, Gerry, a lot of the time they're happy enough to get you out of the fucking house too.
To be honest with you, who am I kidding?
I mean, male or female comedians, your other half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's only so much shit they can listen to.
Jesus Christ. Because, you're fairly self-obsessed as a fucking comedian anyway, like, you know.
It's the best.
If you want to assume that people are going to sit there and listen to your shit.
Oh, I got her this fucking KitchenAid mixer, and she knew when I handed her the box of it wrapped at Christmas what it was, because you couldn't lift it up. It would take 2 people to lift it up. This thing is cast iron, Tom.
Holy fuck.
This is what sets it aside from...
the yoke you get in Aldi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This thing is fucking solid.
Who makes it?
KitchenAid. They are the company.
Oh,
they're a company
right.
onto themselves called KitchenAid, all one word.
Fuck it.
And I bought a green KitchenAid one, like a light green, sort of duck egg green sort of a one. All right.
Like the Smeg fridges coming.
Like the fucking Smeg fridges, bro.
Jesus
Yeah, exactly.
Christ,
That,
listen to us.
And we're proper little housewives, aren't we? Yeah, Smeg fridges and KitchenAid mixers.
You know.
And the KitchenAid, all I can describe it as is basically the body of an angle grinder
Okay, yeah.
on a hinge. And a bowl.
Yeah. So does it? Yeah. Okay. So is it like a tower drill?
It's like a tower drill, yeah. You
can flap. You can flap
clunk,
up.
you, you clunk a switch at the side and it lifts up like that.
Yeah.
And you clip in your bowl.
Like that, as everybody can hear.
Like that, as you can hear, yeah, you know.
So
it flips your fucking imagination.
It flips up from we'll say 0 degrees to 90 degrees.
It flips up from 0 to about 45.
Okay,
and
right.
you lift your bowl in and out, and that's it. But for all intents and
But
purposes,
is there like a chuck on it?
There is a chuck on it, yes.
Like a drill.
There's a chuck on it like a drill that you can attach a whisk. You can attach a paddle.
A fucking what?
A paddle, like a broad, like an oar, like the
What's
paddle of
that
an
for?
oar. Just mixing stuff.
What are you going to mix with a paddle?
Bread. I don't fucking know. See, this is what it is. I don't use it. I don't
Oh,
make
right,
it with
okay.
it.
I thought you were at it.
No, fuck no. I just enjoy it as a piece of machinery.
No, does that need fucking updates?
It needs brushes.
Yeah, I know, yeah, because
And you know what?
brushes will burn out on drills. They'll bush. That's what basically it's what causes the spark in between the alternator that actually drives the fucker. But if you can, don't listen to any cunt if they tell you that a good branded fucking electrical yoke needs to be fucked out. Don't listen to them.
No.
Because go to your old school fucking electrical store and the brushes will be able to be.
If they don't have them, they'll order them.
This is no joke. Herself's brother or herself's father has a fucking Hitachi fucking skill saw for the last 24 years.
And he'll have it for 20 more.
And because he replaces the brushes on it.
Yeah.
She's a flyer.
Absolutely.
She's an absolute
So
flyer.
can you imagine, Tom, if you've seen like a piece of kitchen, a kitchen utensil, normally if your kettle burns out, you fuck it out. If your toaster goes...
Well,
on
you
the
see,
blink,
there's no
you
moving
fuck it out.
parts. If it has a moving part, like it oscillates or it spins, it'll have brushes in it.
Isn't it wonderful that we can talk about this, about a fucking...
That's
thing that
actually
makes
fucking
bread.
lovely. Yeah, that's that. I'm actually feeling fucking fair good now talking about that.
And like, you can see the brushes on the side of it.
The brushes don't. They're basically. It's almost like the fucking wire brush on a fucking that you'd have in a drill head for taking off. Fucking whatchamacallit for.
It's like, if you can imagine what a brush is like it's like the lead of it looks like the lead of a pencil, a solid block of the lead of a pencil on a little spring, and eventually, that wears out, and it goes in either side of the chassis. The shaft. It goes in the middle of it.
It'd be like a drive shaft underneath a car that you see spinning. You know, that's the bit. If you looked under a car spinning, or a 4-wheel drive, you'll see a drive shaft spinning, and that's essentially what it is. It goes on either side of that. They can be replaced, especially on good yokes.
And again, we stress, we're talking here about a mixer in your kitchen.
So yeah, fucking.
And it's fucking awesome, Tom. I'm not even getting into the half of this thing. Again, I don't fucking bake or cook or do anything like this, but I just enjoy this as a piece of machinery.
Can you clip a fucking mincer onto them?
Yes, you can, Tom. I'm just getting to that. There's so there's the paddle into the big stainless steel bowl, and you can mix your bread, and you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Are they a noisy cunt of a thing? I wouldn't fucking mind actually if they were.
It's not. It's strong. You can hear. It's a strong.
Like
like a lathe.
Okay, you're right. Yeah.
Alright, like you know this thing's on, but at the same time it's not raw.
It wouldn't annoy the fuck out of you.
No, and it's so heavy that it doesn't move. So it's not like you switch it on and it's like rattling, jumping around.
That's half the reason for the weight, I suppose, is just to keep her held down.
It is so, like, anytime the missus is making it with it, she has to give me a shout. Not that I lift it out of the press, so that the two of us lift it out of the press. Alright,
What'd you say it weighs? 4 stone?
It weighs, honestly...
Would it be a big bag of spuds?
It weighs about 18 kilos.
Would it?
Yeah, 18 to 20 kilos, yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah, it's serious business. And at the front of it, at the very front of it, there's a little, like the logo of it is here. But the logo is held in with a turn screw, and when you turn that, you lift the logo of it off.
Right.
And there is a square chuck.
Away.
Into which you can put any number of things. You can buy accessories that don't come with it, they're quite expensive.
Is the power taken off through that chuck?
Yeah.
In behind the logo?
Yes.
But that's only just a fucking little extra that you wouldn't...
You don't need
Imagine if you had this yoke for fucking years and then somebody walked in and showed you that. I'd say you'd shit the fucking bed.
You'd be
with
like,
so
what
much
the
excitement.
fuck? Oh no, but if you're getting one of these things, you know exactly what you're getting. Like immediately the missus was like, we can get this and 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 this, and like, well, like these things are like €150 a piece. These attachments,
of course,
so we'll get one a year, maybe, you know, the steady or something. But as you said yourself, Tom, you can get a mincer attachment to it that drive again. Here's where I was going to fucking mention PTO shaft. It's like a PTO shaft at the back of a tractor. That you have your tractor. You don't just have a tractor. You have a world of things.
It's fucking very exciting.
That you can attach to it. So you can attach a baler, you can attach all this kind of things to your tractor. And just like that with the KitchenAid, you can attach a mincer.
Do you reckon...
Nothing else is springing to mind right now. It was like fucking 20 things you can get.
But you know what? Like, you see, we're not crafty at all because we don't fucking need to be crafty. And this is where the likes of that joke now is definitely born out of fucking necessity. And you know when you see, like, you can see these YouTube videos of fucking lads from far-flung places that wouldn't have fuck all, but they can make yokes work.
Yeah.
I saw a fella the other day turn a fucking angle grinder into a chainsaw.
Okay. Yeah.
And he'd made his own little bracket and everything to hold the fucking chainsaw blade off it. It looked utterly lethal.
Yes.
Power, like this was a fucking angle grinder's power with a fucking chainsaw. But he had made such a neat job of it. I guarantee you could Husqvarna or fucking DeWalt or somebody will fucking copy that and go, cute whore.
Yeah. I really feel that's what it was with KitchenAid, that they've been around for like 100 years or whatever like that, or 60, 70 years, whatever it is. I really feel like...
Fuck, they're around that long,
They are around
I know
that long.
Kenwood used to made the old ones one.
What I really feel is that there was a company that was in America that was invested heavily in the war, in World War II. And when World War II was over, they had a load of these armatures left over.
Yeah.
And they're like, what will we do with them? Well, why don't we put them on a stand and attach a paddle to it and you can mix bread? That's how fucking powerful this thing is.
Kind of like how the Hummer came about.
Exactly, yeah. We've got all these military...
Hummers or the Jeeps. They they came about, or trucks.
Military grade stuff that has, with no war to fight, well, let's make trucks. Military grade, like, honestly,
I wouldn't imagine you bake much with a fucking Hummer, but...
No, but the KitchenAid mixer, I honestly think that it might have been like an engine of a Boeing or a fucking...
I'm a way to get one of these.
Or a bomber of some sort. That they just took it out and started making making mixers out of them. Because honestly, Tom, I would argue right now that the design of this particular piece of machinery from the 50s hasn't changed an iota.
Go away.
Hasn't changed a bit. It's not like, oh, let's start stripping it out and start putting in cheaper parts and let's start shipping in parts from China. And you know, they're very proud of themselves.
All American made.
All American made, cast iron.
Fucking hell.
Big ass mixer. And Tom, you don't want to fuck around with this thing. It's got settings 1 to 7. You do not put it up to 7. You put it up to 7, you're going to lose the fucking skin of an arm in it. It's just going to it's like the PTO of a tractor that you're just going to
No loose clothing around this.
No loose clothing around a KitchenAid
Take
mixer.
off your fucking shirt altogether.
You are going to get wrapped around this thing if you go near it.
Holy fuck.
It's fucking incredible.
I'm going to have to see this, yoke. Some evening now you're going to have to bring me up and we'll drink cans and we might actually... Will you take a photograph of it and put it up on fucking Twitter?
I will, absolutely. And if anybody is at home that's like that has a KitchenAid mixer...
tell us more about this, because I can see... I know you said you wouldn't think I'd like this, but as soon as you mentioned that there was fucking clip on, clip off...
Oh, yeah.
I fucking like yokes that work.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what they do.
You chunk everything onto it, man.
Hey,
it's nice. It's a nice...
I'll be honest with you, even the Nespresso machine, when I drop that fucking hammer on the fucking thing, I do think I'm...
chunk.
Like, it's like a bolt-action rifle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or you just... Not a bolt-action, like, but you know, a belt-driven fucking...
arming torpedoes or some shit
like
this.
Like, you know that bit where you just... Give me another fucking box of fucking shells for the 50.
Yeah.
You're standing on the back and you're going to clip it down.
Clonk.
And you just send another belt through, like, you know...
But even, like, Nespresso is one thing. I find an Nespresso... when it's going, it sounds like it's struggling.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Especially if you're using the fucking the Moriah pods like that aren't from Nespresso.
Like it sounds like it's gonna go. It doesn't feel like it's solid.
It fucking doesn't.
Not the KitchenAid, Tom. You could kick this fucking thing down a flight of stairs and it'd still make you buns like that.
Yeah, dude, that's a fucking good joke. That's a good joke. And I guarantee you, there's something has been done to the KitchenAid that was never intended, even by KitchenAid. I guarantee you, some fucker... somewhere in Delhi is driving a television off of the fucking KitchenAid.
Yeah, or someone is turning wood.
Yeah. I fucking guarantee, because it sounds like a fucking serious piece of kit.
Oh, it's incredible, Tom. And like I say, you wouldn't think that I could sit here and talk for 20 minutes about a fucking kitchen mixer.
There might be an old thing, maybe we could put the bouncing chairs, we might be able to run a yoke off it for your child or something, just...
Oh, yeah, like a swing.
Just, the way we could put maybe an off-centre cam or something on it. Could we just bob a baby up and down like on a string on their chair or something and just set it to number 1?
Honestly, Tom, when they were making this thing, they didn't say, how will we make bread? They just said, how will we make an incredibly powerful turning machine?
Fucking hell.
And it just so happened that it was very good at making bread.
What voltage is it? Because, I mean, once you go above, like your average Black & Decker fucking owl putting in and taking out screws is like 8 volts. It's not really up to much.
I don't know. I'd need to check and see what it was now. If I were to guess.
You can go right up to, like, you're talking about a series bare of a fucking Hilti drill if it's 36 volts.
I would say if this thing was cordless, theoretically, if this thing was cordless, it would be...
It would be running off 220.
It's running off 220, but if it was a cordless thing, I would say it was easily 24.
Go away.
Yeah, easily 24.
That would pull the fucking arm clean off.
Yeah, absolutely. This thing, you said it yourself, no loose clothing around this motherfucker.
Ooh. I have to see that. I'm impressed with that now.
She's some machine.
Yeah. Jesus, fair play to you, Gerry. That's actually one I'm delighted. I really want to go about seeing that. Well, this draws to the close of the end of season fucking 2, Gerry.
SO2 EO6 is in the bag. There we go.
I'm quite happy about that machine.
And what was I going to say, Tom? We thank everybody.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much. Yeah,
for listening.
We should probably thank them more often. We'll probably continue in whatever guise. I mean, we bought this fucking yoke, this machine. So
we bought this little Zoom podcaster last year. Tom came to me and said, "Come here, Gerry, you want to do a podcast?" And I wasn't going to do a podcast, but Tom said, "You want to do a podcast?" And I said, "You know what, Tom, you're a sound bloke, get along well with you. I really feel that the two of us in a room talking together, we could fill a podcast."
Yeah.
And we've been proven wrong about that consistently throughout the last 12 episodes. Honestly, Tom, I couldn't do a podcast with myself. I don't think I could do this podcast with anybody else. Like I said earlier, our periods are syncing up with this one.
It's true. We're up to the fucking milking parlour all the time by ourselves, just, But we seem to need to go with it. Like, see how excited we got about a fucking machine.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Honest God. Think about
there are a couple of handful of factors of things that'll get myself and Gerry fucking going. And it's that Kenwood machine, or that fucking that KitchenAid. Yeah.
That is one. And like I say, folks, it mightn't sound like a whole pile, but we hope you enjoy it anyway,
Yeah.
It's,
yeah.
It is just us talking.
Let us know. Let us know. Drop us. You can send us messages on SoundCloud. You can send us messages on Twitter. You can send us messages on fucking... On iTunes, whatever. It's on fucking all sorts of podcast apps and everything now. I actually found it on a weird one the other day. It was like a Czechoslovakian fucking app.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was on it. It was Tom and Gerry show, but like all the writing underneath our description was all in fucking curly words.
Really?
Yeah, it looked like bent paper clips.
All right, well, okay.
There you are.
Hey, they need to hear us talk shit as well.
Yeah, but they need to hear about Hansfield fucking Station. That's what they need to fucking hear about.
Fuck this train
But also, look... Leave a rating. Fucking leave a rating. Send us on whatever questions you fucking want to. If it's related to it, just lash it onto us on Twitter. Twitter's probably the handiest one to get us on, I suppose, isn't it?
And even though it is indeed, Tom, and even though this is the end of season 2, it is not the end of anything. You never know. We might have a little special in the works.
I think we might. I think it's only fair.
So, thank you for joining us. Listen to us on your holidays. It's coming into the summer. Listen to us on your way to the train. Just listen to us. We appreciate it. The more you listen, the more we're going to keep recording this.
Exactly.
Rock and
roll. Hey, and follow us anytime you want. At Gerry McBride, at Tom_Mahony.
Or all roads lead to at Tom and Gerry Show on Twitter. You probably knew that already. So, Tom, let's take it home.
That's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me. Take care of yourselves.
Good luck.
Good luck.